Chudada. Been coaching for 11 years now, ice on the varsity level. I ran a semi-pro football league for 15 years before that, so I got in the game late. Started my coaching career in 2010 at South Milwaukee, and now I'm coaching at Waukesha North as an offensive line coach. I have 8 years of defense experience, 4 years of defense coordinator experience, and just a versatile coach. Can coach offensive line, can coach anywhere on the defense side of the ball, and I'm extremely happy to be here.
I'm Nick Bandstra. I am the offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach at Kenton Ridge High School here in Ohio. This will be my first season at Kenton Ridge. 10 years total. Just finished up a 3-year stint as an assistant at Fairborn High School. I've been a defense coordinator, special teams coordinator as well over the course of 10 years. Thanks, Coach, for having me on. I'll start with probably what's grown to be one of my favorite plays in football, at least from the wing tee, and that would be trap, or as we would call it, 31 trap. It's standard trap. It's not scientific by any means. Center block back on the nose, back sidewise, tackle, clears out the backer, backside guard pull, and kick the 3 technique. My wing will cross face of the end over here, just to make sure, cut him off just in case he's a hard pincher, and then climb and look for anybody folding in. If nobody folds in, he can keep climbing to safety. My X does a run off. Okay, part of it is just to keep them honest. If you notice they aren't selling it, fake trap, throw. Okay, front side. Even though kids mess us up half the time on who to block and who not to block, you think they don't understand that at a certain point, but there's always one kid that blocks your trapper. My guard will go straight to play side backer. My play side tackle checks play side backer for climbing the safety. We don't block play side end because it hits too fast. The Y, take care of the outside backer, and then my wing here will box out the corner. And then typically the ideal goal for this play is for trap to hit roughly 1 to 1.5 seconds. Is typically the old. There's some hardcore wing T coaches that have a stopwatch and talk about 0.8. And then my quarterback after the handoff will carry out his drop and his fake.
Formation, heavy formation up front. So we're going to line up as we got the cornerback on the outside shade, the wing here, about 3 yards off. We got the Sam linebacker, outside shade of tight end. My end is going to attack the C gap. Tackle's going to attack the B gap. Mike's got A. Nose has got the A gap. Willow's got B. And then my bandit defensive end has got the outside. Rover's got the outside on the wing here. He's got a wing when he goes out, and I'm locked up on the wide receiver of my corner. Free safety is free. On trap play, we're just going to look for 2 linebackers flowing, getting in there and making the play, beating the block as to speak. But everybody is gap sound. Everybody does their play right, coach. We should be golden. So free safety is coming down, screeching down, and finishing up the play. So to this alignment, we're going to line up the corner on the receiver, lock him up on the receiver on the boundary. We're going to have the rover and the free 2 read this wing back. We're going to bandit to the C gap. Will's going to control the B gap. Nose is going to go in the A gap. Mike's responsibility is the A gap. Tackle's going to hit the B gap, and the end's going to hit the C gap. We're going to lock up on the tight end with the Sam. We're going to control the outside. And we're going to have the corner lock up on the wing. I'm sorry, if the fullback goes out to the right, Mike's got him. Fullback goes out to the left, Will's got him.
Rib jet right. Jet sweep has kind of been pretty much there's 2 thoughts in the wing tee. You're either going to run rocket or you're going to run jet, essentially. Mm-hmm. Unless you're a super heavy buck team. And there's some school of thought to pull on this, but I've always been just a reach guy. Our wing will get the corner based off his role. If he reaches first guy outside of him. Same thing with tight end and my tackle. They block first guy outside of them. Reaching. It doesn't have to be a devastating block. You just can't lose ground because our this is probably a bad drawing, but he's got to bubble a little bit once he gets his hand off. He's got to bubble too much, and that's one thing we've learned over the past couple of years, especially with your tight end cannot just lose ground on here. It hit the edge. Pretty much anything that's behind a 4 technique, we don't block on the line. Okay, if anybody on this defensive line tackles him at the line of scrimmage, then either our wing is too slow or that kid's going out of Alabama. That's pretty much the only 2 ways that's happening. So they pretty much take pretty much a cutoff step, pretty much play side guard back and climb and get first guy. That's in their path. We'll a lot of times they get this back or no. Usually our fullback gets him as we round the corner, or our wing will just outrun him. But this backside backer usually gets picked up by usually the center or guard, and usually the guard or tackle backside usually gets to the free. Your receiver technically never gets there. Usually, everybody says a touchdown. It's usually if there's a cutback, he's there. The main thing we tell our wing on our jet sweep is hash number sideline. Okay, we tell them all the time. You'll see a hole here. You'll see a hole somewhere here. It's an illusion. It's a trap. Okay, you'll get about 2 to 3 yards most of the time. Okay, here's grass. Okay, that's where you want to run. You always want to run out there. Okay, you're at wing because you're one of our fast kids. Okay, so run to the hash number sidelines. Okay, once you start hitting hash number sidelines, that's when you start looking to cut back. But always realize if you cut back inside, that's where the enemy is. All right, you speed and numbers to our friends. And that's just our jet sweep. Very simplistic. Normally, if you don't run an overloaded set like this, you would fake trap off this and then carry it out. But for this, they'll just carry out a naked rollout to the backside, just to try to keep any of these backside guys honest, and it allows us to check for stuff in the box. Yes, a wing T team can run air raid concepts. Now, we don't get nearly as intricate with it as they do. Okay, ours is much simpler. And part of the reason I chose this is because he's shown a lot of man so far. This is one of my favorite things to attack man. But kind of the quick shimmy of it is we ran mesh a lot off our belly player. All right, so we backfield wise, we fake belly. Then he takes his drop. It's a short 3-step. And typically what we tell him as he drops is check. I mean, and we kind of know already, and we've kind of told him like whether we're getting man or zone. If it's true zone, we're attacking the free safety here. We're pretty much high low enough. Post behind them, and then what we call the spot right in front of them. The spot's 12 yards, and we tell them sit right in front of the safety. Okay, if he's backpedaling, that's fine. You're gonna sit in front of him. There's the window. If he comes up on it, quarterback fit the post behind. If we're seeing a lot of man, and this is really what we ran against last year, we have our 2 crossers. Our tight ends are deep crosser, and our wings underneath. I can say in our season, we threw to him twice. He dropped it both times, even though he was wide open. The second time, I mean, he could have ran for about 45 yards, which was depressing. The other time is because he was our best kid, and we always did this out of blue tight or regular blue. He's a former receiver that we converted to wing. He would cross the field, and our main goal is if we're going to throw either of the mesh routes, they have to be outside the tackle box, or else the linebacker are just going to murder. And so pretty much once you get past here, we'd hit him, and he'd get us anywhere from 15 to 25 yards every time we ran this. This is probably our most, outside of waggle, this is probably our most efficient pass play this past year. Our pass pro wise is man slide. Slide 2, man backside. Again, that can turn into a double if he doesn't have this backer come into the B gap. obviously with the nose already in A, pick them. He'll check B and go back. But he knows he's got help backside. The fullback's job is to make this tackle right in case something happens. But pretty much based off our personnel that we've had the past couple of years, if it's man, it's probably what is going to get thrown, and if it's zone, we're checking here.
And we're in a wing. They're in a wing T formation, so again, we're gonna be cover one. We want to match as many guys in the line as they have up front. So what we're gonna do is the end is gonna attack the C gap. We're gonna mix up differently where the tackle and nose are gonna, since it's short yardage, tackle and nose are gonna be in the inside shades of guards. We're attacking the A gap. Will's responsible for the B gap. The band end is gonna be the C gap. Corner rover has got the wing and the receiver locked up. The Sam in the corner on the other side has got the wing and the tight end locked up. Free is basically free to either dive, either play the run or the pass. If we read pass, Mike and Will are going to go to the hook curl spots, and whatever the fullback's doing, we'll take care of him on the backfield. But that's basically how we would attack it. Make sure we'll make sure a gap sound and make sure that there's no hole for that fullback, or if they want to do a wing run over here on the outside, make sure that we're containing the outside, forcing everything inside, and let our pursuit clip. It's up a little bit. We're gonna do a fire zone blitz here. My quarterback lineup on the weak side wing is gonna be jump into a third. Sam linebacker is gonna jump into a third. Free safety is gonna jump to a third over here. My corner on this side is gonna have the flat. My rover is going to be blitzing between the wing and the tight end. My bandit's gonna go inside. Nose is gonna go inside. Tackle's gonna go inside. And my Mike and Will are responsible for flow. Whatever, if the fullback comes in, gets it. Otherwise, Mike's got middle, and then the Will has the wing coming out.
Wanted to spice it up. I'll spice it up as well. We'll go jet pass. Blocking wise, it's pretty much zone to the field. Except for the tight end, if he's got somebody on him, he'll keep that until he gets help. Otherwise, he'd reach out as well. Backside waterfall technique. But everybody is reaching. It looks a lot like it looks like our jet sweep reach blocking. This is exactly what slide protection. Play side then, since our fullback's offset, he picks up first guy off the edge. So he essentially his role is to replace the wing here. Quarterback, handoff, fake naked backside, try to hold some guys. And then over here, our X will run a fade. Odds of him getting thrown are probably slim to none, but it could happen. Second, our wing gets the ball. He bows back slightly deeper than normal, and he's looking for the X. If the wing is fully covered, he's just going to throw up the fade. But otherwise, he's checking. Second, the wing gets past the rover. He'd hit him over the middle. Your ideal is somebody's coming to help you. You want to try to squeeze it in there. It's a little risky, but given if our wing here can get it off before Coach's blitz gets there, I feel pretty good about it. Two things real quick. One, like Coach said, philosophy wise, I have the utmost and probably opinion of I think any offense can work as long as you adapt it to your kids, and two, you have an identity and you know how to teach it and practice it, not just to your kids but to your coaches as well. I think that's why offenses don't necessarily work in high school, is because they don't either know how to teach it or they don't communicate it well with their assistants. But that's kind of my core piece on that. I think anything can work. Yeah, I grew up wing T today, but I've been in 10 years evolved around everything from pistol triple to gun power read stuff to wing T to gun wing T to double wing to everything. It's just true, like almost run and shoot type spread. Like I said, I think they all can work as long as you know how to teach it and you can sell it. The other thing is obviously I think most people who watch this will probably know I have a YouTube channel that promotes other coaches. And if you're interested in clinics, podcasts, interviews, all that stuff's behind me. You can look up my name, Coach Bandstra, Nick Bandstra, Nicholas Bandstra. And in all honesty, the best way to get hold of me is through Twitter at Coach Bandstra. It's probably the easiest way to get hold of me. If you have questions, you want to come on, you want to talk ball, whatever. If my schedule allows it, I'll do what I can to either come talk to you or help you out or however I can. And just want to thank both coaches for this today. This was fun. I appreciate it.
Basically, I want to talk about philosophy. The philosophy of my defense is basically get pressure on the quarterback. He's a high school quarterback back there. Basically, I don't think he's given a lot of leeway as far as reads or whatever. So what I'm basically doing is putting pressure on him, psychologically getting in his head, force him to make bad mistakes or take him out of the game, whatever comes first. But my job is to put pressure on the pocket or disrupt blocking in the run game up there. So I want to create chaos in the line of scrimmage, and I want my athletes to make the play at the second level. So I really believe in hard hitting, aggressive style defense. I know what the rules changes and everything else coming into the play. It's kind of hard to do that, but there are ways that you can be aggressive and you can still play defense at a high level. You just got to be smart about it. Take your head out of the game. That's basically what I've said all along. I think that the rules that are in there right now are good for the most part. But I think that you can still play hard-nosed, aggressive defense with everything going on still. Like I said, I've been coaching defense for a long time. Been defense coordinator for a couple of years. If anybody wants to talk ball, I'm always willing to do that. I love it. I'm a sucker for conversation like that. So if you want to reach me on my Twitter, it's Chudada on my Twitter, and then on my Facebook, it's Coach Chris Chudada. Look me up, and we'll talk some ball.